Justin Bieber's surprise release new album, Swag, is out, and I've actually listened to it too much. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, music lover, and I did my due diligence. I listened and listened and sat with and listened and ended up listening to Justin Bieber's new album over 6 times in full before I share my thoughts with you. And I have a lot of thoughts. And before I get to them, as a pop culture expert, it's my job to have my finger on the pulse and see what people are saying. And unfortunately, it seems like most people are not loving the new Bieber album. Mediocre is a word that keeps coming up a lot. And there are people who love it, especially the folks in his comments section. But everywhere else on social media, it's mixed to, I would say, more so than not negative. So it might surprise you that I actually like the album. Maybe it's because I listened to it over 6 times and am forcing myself to like it. No, I don't think I'm forcing myself to like it. I like it for what it is. I just enjoy listening to him sing. But having said that, and this is not shade, Bieber is trying so hard to be respected and embraced by the Black community. He has a few Black rappers on the album. He has this Black comedian who, I guess you could call them skits, but I would say more is giving us interludes, some segments. They weren't very funny, so I'm not calling them skits. But in one of these moments, the Black comedian says, "Justin, you're more than 2% Black. You've got so much soul." And this is not a diss. This is my honest opinion after having listened to his new album over 6 times in full. Bieber has no soul in his voice. No. He has no soulfulness in his voice. Do you know what I'm trying to say? His voice is so pop. That's why I think I enjoy the album, because I enjoy his pop voice. Even if he's trying to give us soul, this is not, oh God, it's not intentional. It's not a diss. There's no soulfulness. It's pop to me. That's a blessing. He's got such a great pop voice without any soulfulness. Also, before I say this, let me just state the obvious. Bieber is calling all of the shots in his career. His label listens to him, and Scooter Braun is no longer in the picture. He's been doing this now for nearly 20 years. And this body of work is what he wanted to put out now and how he wanted to put it out. Personally, I think if it was curated differently, it might have made for a more enjoyable experience. Because the songs can be lumped into 2 categories. One, I wouldn't even call them experimental. I would call them stripped down. There's maybe less than a handful of raw songs, weed songs. This is his weed album. Well, wasn't his last album his weed album too? Justice was his weed album, but done better. And I think that's one of the problems. While I enjoyed Swag, when you compare it to his previous output, it pales in comparison. Even Justice, which wasn't my favorite album, that was so much better than this. And I'm not saying that Swag is bad, it's just a lot of reheated nachos. It's lacking in swag. The other songs that are not the stripped down raw ones are R&B, but clearly inspired by other songs, ripoffs of greater music that other artists released. I kept listening to the songs and I'm like, oh, this is that 90s R&B song, or this one's inspired by Michael Jackson's Human Nature, or this is that, and this is that. It's like, I wish sonically it was all just more inventive. Remember when Bieber did What Do You Mean? Like, that felt so fresh at the time. He had never done anything like that before. That was in its own lane. And this album feels like reheated nachos and rushed. It feels like he made all of this recently over a period of weeks or maybe a month or two. I know he took that trip for songwriting with his crew. Instead of getting the best songs that he's been working on for years now, I don't know if he had been working on music for years. He might have taken a lot of time off, and that's fine. I just wish he would have taken more time to curate the best of the best. And back to curation, if he would have split up the album into these raw, stripped down songs and the R&B songs, release the EP first, the stripped down songs. But going back to Reheated Nachos, he's even done that better. My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Love Yourself, that's stripped down-ish. That's raw, vulnerable, and so much better than everything on Swag combined. But I did enjoy him experimenting and trying different things, like that Yukon song where you can't even recognize his voice. That was cool. He's not necessarily trying for a radio hit, but he might get one. The Daisies song has potential to, I think, maybe do well on radio. First Place, I also thought very pleasing and radio might get behind. And surprisingly, one of my favorite songs, maybe even my favorite song on the album, is Sweet Spot with Sexy Red. Just because it's so dumb and fun. Like, she is rapping the filthiest things. And I wanted more fun. There are some fun moments, but this is like a real fun, silly, lighthearted time. And I enjoyed it a lot. And I have to say it, Selena Gomez released a new album earlier this year as well. Justin's pales in comparison to that. The new Selena record is so much better and fresher and cooler. In my opinion, you might disagree. However, according to Billboard, they are exclusively reporting that this is just the first of a lot of new music that we're getting from Justin Bieber. He also has a more pop-leaning album, according to insiders, that might come out very soon. And I haven't even gotten to the Hailey Bieber of it all. I'm gonna save that for another video coming up shortly. I just wanted to get this out with all of my thoughts, my review of Swag. So stay tuned for the Hailey and the relationship talk and drama. But until then, I want to know now in the comments section your thoughts. What's your review? What do you think of Justin Bieber's Swag? Let's get to it in the comments section.